Voters across the state went out to vote in the midterm elections this past Tuesday, November the 4th. But when registered voter Nathaniel Rutherford, a senior at UGK, is asked of his party affiliation, he does not strictly dedicate himself to either the Democratic or Republican parties.
I'm not a proponent of the two-party system. I mean, the founders weren't even on a two-party system. Of course, Washington told us not to do it, and what do we do? But I mean, you look at some of the other countries out there, especially the ones in Europe, they have multi-party system. I'm not happy with the two-party system. I know a lot of Americans, just from what you hear every election cycle, they're kind of fed up with the two-party system. Which side you're more fed up with, and it's almost pretty even, Democrat and Republican, who you're more fed up with. So it's kind of like I think the third option would be useful for Americans.
And that third option consists of the 4 third-party political groups who were able to beat the odds and have candidates on the ballot in Tennessee for the 2014 midterm election ballot. These parties consist of the Constitution Party of Tennessee, the Libertarian Party of Tennessee, the Green Party of Tennessee, and the Memphis Socialist Party that is a local branch of the Socialist Party USA.
To be on the ballot with a party, you have to have 2.5% of the number of voters who voted for the governor last time on a petition. You have to have that many signatures just to be considered a minority party. People aren't aware of those parties. And I think it's about tradition too. We have trouble just getting people to the polls in the first place, and then to get those people that actually do go to the polls to then change their mind about the way that they've always done things and maybe the way that their families have always voted. That's another big hurdle to cross for those third-party candidates. They're presenting kind of new ideas, maybe.
I think the main problem with third parties is that people don't know enough about them. I don't think it's like the fault of the third party. I think it's the fault of the voters who don't bother doing the research. Because I know me, I know I could do more research to find out things. I just haven't. But I think it's the fault of the citizens and the voters, as we don't know enough about the third parties to vote on them.
After looking more into these options, it is obvious how different they all are, and it is important to know how many different political viewpoints are represented through these different parties. When talking to Brooke Shannon of the Memphis Socialist Party, I learned a lot about this branch of the growing Socialist Party USA.
We are a democratic socialist organization, so we believe in socialism as radical democracy. We believe that the system, with all of its institutions, is broken and needs a fundamental fix. We believe that the problems in the world, from environmental degradation to the unfair distribution of wealth and resources, from using public resources for private profit, racial, ethnic, and gender inequalities are all direct results of the capitalist system. So in that way, we differ from Democrats and Republicans because we believe that the entire system that they represent is fundamentally broken. I believe that there's strength in people. I believe in people power. And so I'm optimistic about the future of third-party politics in this country.
I think that unless you have some kind of major institutional change, that it's going to be hard to have a real third-party system where you have actual competitors out there. But on the other hand, with the rise of the internet, with technology, with communications technology, it's easier to get your message out there.
Before the next election, make sure to research all the party options to make sure that you don't miss out on a third-party political group that better fits your political viewpoints. This has been Laura Darnell reporting for JEM 230.